What's up, guys? This is Miasin, and today I'm actually so excited to bring you guys my White Forest Centurion toy combo video and deck profile that I kind of hinted yesterday in my toy engine review. This deck is insanity. I have no words to describe how broken this deck is. If it were up to me, I'd say this is a tier 0 deck because in terms of power level, nothing can stop this deck. This deck can religiously beat hand traps like it's nothing. I will be making a spreadsheet video on, how to beat every single hand trap if this video gets 1,000 likes. And I will be showing you guys a lot of ways to beat Nibiru in this video, as well as an in-depth deck profile with all the best options that you have at your disposal. And I think nobody up until me was able to really figure out the winning recipe for this deck, but that's the reason why I'm making this video. Anyways, before we go any further, again, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number 1 is Asteria and any spell or trap card. That's it. It could be anything. It could even be like Imperm or something like that, because when I see combo videos, usually people always have the nuts, like they have Asteria and Legend or something like, they have the nuts or like Toy Box, but that's unrealistic. What happens if you're not super lucky and you just draw like this monster and anything? Look at what you can do against a Nibiru, for example. So normal summon, and then use the effect, special summon the seal. By the way, there's even sequences where you can win through like Imperm or Ash on the Asteria. So it's not like you lose the, the smaller hand traps either. Anyway, special summon the Sylve, and on summon this gets you a search for a White Forest spell or trap. That's going to be Legend, but you don't activate it yet, because you want to benefit off of its trigger effect in the grave when you pitch it for Arciela, which will send a spell and trap card to search either a White Forest spell or trap, White Forest card, or any light spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand. You can theoretically search Effect Veiler with this. And you will now trigger the effect of Asteria in the grave because you did send a spell or trap card to trigger the effect of a monster, or I believe any card, in order to revive itself back. And also, you're going to be resetting the Legend, so revive back the Asteria, and you're going to be flipping the Legend in order to search for your Arcia, no, actually, the reset, sorry. And now you got a level 2 non-tuner and a level 6 tuner, so sync into Diabel. And since this card was Synchro Summon using a Tuner Synchro, you can recycle back a spell and trap in your grave. So the card that we discarded, we get it back, but we're gonna have to discard it eventually down the line. Anyways, the Sylve will now trigger its in-grave effect, so shuffle back the Arciela, the Synchro monster, from her graveyard to the extra deck, and then summon itself back. And now we've got a level 4 tuner and a level 8 non-tuner, and this is where the Centurion engine really comes in handy. So Synchro Summon into the Centurion Arcuela. Aruxulia, look, whatever, I'm just gonna call it Koala. Anyways, search any Centurion card from your deck to your hand, that's gonna be the field spell. And then activate the field spell, discard the card that we discarded at first and then recycle back. Place the Trudea, and then special summon the Trudea and use its on-field effect. Place the Primera in your spell and trap zone, and then special summon that, and then get your search for Wake Up Centurion, which you will now activate, get yourself a level 8 token. And then Synchro Summon into Crimson Dragon and use its effect. If our opponent does not Nibiru us here, we can make the Cosmo Blazer Dragon, which is an Omni-Negate, a Solemn Warning, and a Threatening Roar. The card does everything you can think of, but we will obviously be getting hit by Nibiru now, so Crimson Dragon dies. This is what you can expect against like really good players that are just gonna nib you when you summon Crimson Dragon, so keep an eye out on this possibility. Anyways, it's not like we lose to one Nibiru because we have the Reset and the Trap card, so we can pitch the Trap, summon the Reset, and then we will be searching for the Arcia now, and the Trap card, the Woes, is going to be resetting itself back. And then special summon the Arcia from the hand since we control a White Forest monster, synchro to start a charge or whatever if we want to. Draw one card, go into IB Masquerena, and then graveyard effect of Wake Up. Foolish the Centurion Phalanx from the deck to the grave, and then banish that, summon back the Aruxiala, whatever. And then end phase, get back the Primera. And this is an unbreakable board through Nibiru that is correctly used because this is still the King Calamity lock with IP into SP and the ability to use Woes of the White Forest to summon a monster from the deck. And then immediately Synchro Summon a White Forest monster if you want to. It's not mandatory. So yeah, there's really nothing that really beats this deck. It's completely cracked. Yeah, it's just, come on. How do you beat this? And I can still keep playing. Like, my opponent goes Battle Phase, try to run over my things. I'm gonna be like, nah, Battle Phase, Book of Eclipse, everything. So you can't even attack over, like, a single one of my monsters. So you can't attack, and you can't activate any cards or effects because of the King Calamity through a Nibiru with a 1-card combo and any discard. Like, what the frick is this? But don't worry, it gets even better. Alright, so the exact same 2-card combo or whatever, 1.5-card combo. What happens if your opponent nibs before you summon the Arcuela? Well, it's a different combo, but it still plays through Nibiru, no problem. It's just that you gotta understand all the lines because some players are different. I mean, everyone is different, so everybody's gonna use their Nibiru differently. But yeah, again, the very start of the combo is the exact same. It's not like you have to play worse just because of the existence of Nibiru. So recycle back your card and then summon back the Sylve. And then you're going to be getting hit by Nibiru now. We're just going to let it resolve, it's fine. And we're going to be going for reset, pitch the trap card again, and then search for the Arcia, get back the trap, and then special summon the Arcia. And this is where it gets very, very interesting. We can make a level 6 Synchro, and one of them is so much better than the others at allowing you to just keep playing the game. And that card right here is Muddy Mud Dragon, because we can fuse into one of the coolest cards out there, and it is thanks to our opponent's Nibiru that we can keep playing, because of the fact that we summon a token. So we can synchro, or rather fuse into Albion, and then Albion banish the Muddy Mud Dragon, which is now Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, and any spellcaster to summon the Dark Magicians. Now, obviously, this card was played in Dark Magicians, and it's a good card. It's just that if you're not playing Dark Magicians, then how are you summoning this card? But yeah, it reads once per turn if a spell or trap card or effect is activated, except during the damage step, you can draw one card, and if it was a spell or trap, you can set it. And if it was a trap or quick play spell, you can activate it this turn. It's really insane. And if this card is destroyed, you can, whatever. The rest of the effect, that doesn't matter because you don't play Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. But you can draw one card every single turn, every time a spell or trap card gets activated. This card is really, really nice. But what is really important is that we managed to turn a level 2 and a level 4 into 2 level 8 monsters, even though we only really need one realistically. Anyways, now we will be going Arcia. Shuffle back the, what's his face? The Diabel from the graveyard into the extra deck and then summon it back. And we're going to now synchro into the Centron Arcuella. So even if our opponent prevents us from even trying, like, getting there, we can still fully extend through it. And now our opponent used Nibiru a little too early. But as you have seen, even if our opponent uses Nibiru very late, it doesn't change anything, regardless of the timing. I've studied 3 different timings in this deck, in the combo, and as long as you know what you're doing, you beat all 3 instances of Nibiru being used against you, which is insane. And now, again, you can argue, oh yeah, but Imprim and Nib beats this deck. You will be shocked to hear what I have to say, and the answer is no, actually. If your hand is good, you beat Imprim Nib that is, again, played perfectly against you, which is why you really gotta smash the like button for the spreadsheet video. Anyways, at this point we have Cosmo Blazar. Like, our end board is like the exact same as if we didn't get Nibiru. This is ridiculous. Like, we still have the Cosmo Blazar, so even if our opponent has like Cosmic Cyclone for the field spell, it's not gonna work. You need multiple cards to stop a 1-card combo. And we're drawing 10 cards in the process, and we're searching any Centron card. Gargoyle is just a placeholder. It's not obviously Gargoyle. But yeah, every single turn we draw a card. Like, our opponent could be like playing a grindy matchup, and we're still gonna have the upper hand because we keep drawing every single turn. And we have a Zaxo Lock pretty much, and an Omni Negate. And we also get like follow-up with Oxolia, whatever, every single turn. And we still have the trap card, the White Forest, so we can still summon a monster and then synchro summon if we have the ability to do so. Man, this deck has limitless potential. Anyways, let's get into the third combo, which this time is going to be much different. Alright, so I've just shown you 2 different instances for Nibiru being used against you. The first one was if you get nibbed very, very, very late at the very end of the combo when you summon Crimson Dragon. And the second instance of Nibiru was if you get Nibiru'd a little too early, so before you summon your level 12 Synchro monster. Now, there is a third moment where Nibiru can actually hurt you if you don't know what you're doing. Again, with correct playtesting and everything, you can still beat it. And this is what we're going to be doing here, but this time with a different combination of cards. We're going to have a starter that I think is a little worse because you need more discards in order to take advantage of it. And this card is Reset of the White Forest, and the other card is Toy Soldier. If you have this, it's still full combo. It's just that, again, you gotta play a little differently. Anyways, set your Toy Soldier, and then special summon the Reset, and then search for the Asteria, and then Toy Soldier, revive it, settle back. And then search for Toy Box because you do not control Toy Box, so you can't search a level 4 light. And then activate the Toy Box, and then place the Toy Soldier as well as the Toy Tank. This is a level 4 non-tuner, unfortunately. If it was a level 4 tuner, this deck would be unfair. But yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. It doesn't really do much on the field. I guess you can still use it as a synchro material for Diabel using this and the other level 4 tuners, but the Diabel won't get its recursion effect, which is still fine, but whatever. Anyways, we will now normal summon the Asteria, and then Foolish, well, rather send the Toy Soldier, summon the Sylph. This is 4 summons, by the way. So summon number 5, starting from there, we will be Nibiru-proof to some extent. So yeah, synchro summon into the Arciella, and then pitch the Legend, and then search for the trap card. Chilling 1, Chilling 2, get back the Asteria, and reset back the Legend, and then flip the Legend in order to search for the Arcia, and then synchro into the Diabel, recycle back the Legend. Another thing that we can do, by the way, that's I actually think is probably a little better. We can send the Toy Box instead of sending the Toy Soldier, and then the Diabel can recycle back the Toy Box, because this is a soft once per turn, not a hard once per turn. So if you can send it and then get it back, you can use its effect again, which I think is a little cracked because it allows you to have like 5 discards potentially, or like 6 discards off of one single card. Anyways, we will now be special summoning the Arcia that we initially searched with the legend, and then synchro summon into the Centurion something, the koala dude, and then get your field spell and then discard the legend. So you don't even need like other discards in your hand. That's pretty cool. And then get your Trudea, then summon that, and then we will be getting hit by Nibiru on the Trudea, which is another very good timing for your opponent to nib you, because the Trudea won't be going back to the spell and trap zone, so it actually does hurt. And we don't have access to Primera, which would give us access to the Wake Up, which then foolishes for the Phalanx, which revives back the Centurion Auxilia. So I want to say this is probably one of the smartest timings for your opponent to nib you here. But it's still fine because we can fully recover from it. So yeah, Graveyard Effect of Arcia, revive itself back. And this is where, you know, holding your effects instead of being very greedy and always triggering everything that has an effect early on really comes in handy. So even though the effect of Arcia is negated when it's summoned off of its own Graveyard Effect, you can still use the cost of sending a spell and trap card from your field to the graveyard in order to attempt to draw one card, well, hand or field to the grave. So we're sending the Toy Tank, but Toy Tank will still trigger its effect, even though it doesn't, like, we're not drawing a card, it's completely fine. And Toy Tank will also have its Monster Reborn effect to revive back the Asteria or the Reset. And the Toy Box is on the field, so that's the reason why it's a Monster Reborn instead of just being a summon from the hand. And we can synchro into Muddy Mudragon, and you can see where this is going, fuse into the Albion, and into the Dark Magicians. And then we also have the Graveyard Effect of Sylve by shuffling back the Diabel this time, so now we ran out of Synchro Monsters to shuffle back off of our White Forest level 4 tuners. And we can synchro into the Legatia, not only draw a card, but also destroy that Nibiru if we want to, or you can keep it on the field in order to play around a possible Imperm top deck. So it really does depend on what you want to respect the most. And end phase get back the Trudea, which is all we really need, and all we really have either, because we do not have Primera access. Our opponent was really smart in shutting down access to the Primera off of the Trudea. Again, though, I couldn't care less because every path leads to Rome. Even if you nib me perfectly, I still am going to win. So special summon the Trudea on the main phase and also use the Woes in order to summon your level 4 Sylve. And we can not only draw one card, but also get back the Reset from the grave and also synchro into the Crimson Dragon anyways. So even without the Primera, which is a level 4 tuner, we still have the trap card to summon that. And then we can go into King Calamity on top of everything else that we've done off of just 2 cards. Again, this is just freaking crazy. This deck is nice. Alright, so this is one of my personal favorite combos, and it gets even crazier when you discover some really nice things that you can do, which I will not showcase fully in this video. I will kind of briefly cover in my deck profile, but I will be showing everything that you can do in the spreadsheet video. Again, I keep hyping it up because I'm so excited to show a little more about this deck. Anyways, we got Sylve of the White Forest this time, which is a starter, but not a really great one. And we also have Toy Soldier. So we will be normal summoning that, get the Legend, and then search for the Reset. And then page the Toy Soldier, summon the Reset, and then get your search for the Arcia, and then revive back the Toy Soldier, which searches your Toy Box. And then this is a really weird line where you have to synchro into Diabel in order to play, which is really sus because it means that we can't go into the Arciela, the level 6 synchro that searches. So it's just not what you are used to if you're playing this deck. Anyways, activate Toy Box, get your Toy Soldier and your Toy Tank. So I guess this is somewhat obvious. By the way, so this combo and the other combo, they were both featuring Toy Soldier, which is a 1-of in the deck. Clearly, if you draw Toy Box, your combo is way better, because Toy Box is a Toy Soldier and Toy Tank, but, you know, with added effects, like a bonus effect of being able to search a level 4 light. Whereas in this situation, I'm utilizing Toy Soldier to show you guys that even if you get unlucky and you draw the worst card in your engine, it's still completely fine. Well, technically, Toy Tank is the worst toy card, but Toy Soldier is the second best out of the 3 cards, I guess you can say. Anyways, we will be getting hit by Nibiru as soon as we summon that Arcia, because I think at this point people know that if you get to the Arquala, the Centurion level 12 Synchro, it gets a little out of control. So yeah, we get nibbed, but we will be chaining the effect of Diabel by sending the Toy Soldier from the field to the grave, summon the Arciela, which does matter because now it gives us 1 extra fuel for the Graveyard Effect of Arcia and Sylve. This is a weird timing because we summon Diabel in summon number 4. It's so unorthodox. Again, you're not really used to seeing weird combos like that. This only really comes up if you start with Sylve as your normal summon. Otherwise, this combo is not a thing. You're usually going through extra steps in order to get to Diabel, so you get nibbed a little earlier or way later. We get our token now, and then revive back the Arcia. Arcia. But very important, by the way, that's Arcia and not Sylve, otherwise you're screwed. Send the toy tank. Well, actually, that's not even true because we have 2 monsters to shuffle back anyways. Send the toy tank in order to draw 1, but not really. And then get back the toy tank, which again, tributes itself. Revive back the Reset. We don't have Asteria in this combo, by the way, because our normal summon had to be wasted on this card. It's way worse. The best normal summon in this deck is Asteria by a long shot. Anyways, Synchro into Muddy Mudragon, and then fuse yet again into Albion and also into the Dark Magicians, and then revive back the Sylve, and then Synchro into the Arcoala, and then search for the stand-up Centurion. Discard your card that you had in your hand. Place the Trudea and then special summon that, and then get your placement for Primera. I was gonna say search, but not really. And then summon that, which then gets you your search for Wake Up, and then summon your token, and then also Foolish for the trap card. Make sure that you draw with the Dark Magicians at the very end of the combo, because you don't want to draw into the Centurion bricks. You want to get them out of your deck as early as possible, and then at the very end you draw into a potential hand shot with the Dark Magicians. Anyways, we also get to make Cosmic Blazar in this combo before we go into Crimson Dragon. So yet again, even if our opponent had Cosmic Cyclone, it is not going to be enough against you. And we also get to draw a card off of Dark Magicians on our own turn and on our opponent's turn, with the ability to make Crimson Dragon with everything else through a Nibiru, regardless of its timing. Again, there's infinite, like, there's so many things for me to cover in this video that it would be like a 40-minute long video, so that's the reason why I gotta cut it short here. But let's get into the deck profile now. Alrighty, so for the deck list, as you can see, this deck is very clean, very realistic. You don't have to play like a lot of fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards in order to make it work. It's the kind of thing that would work in a real legitimate tournament setting. So I'm playing 15 hand traps, which is a really good number. It gives you roughly 92% chance of drawing one. So 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Mourner, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm. I mean, you can mess around with the hand traps that you prefer, or you can also cut Mourner and Nib to 2 and then also play 2 draws. That is perfectly respectable, I want to say. So if you want to diversify, you can do that, but usually when I showcase a deck profile in action, the hand traps are always environment dependent, so you shouldn't really try to look at them like too much. Don't give them too much attention, because what really is important is my ratios for the engine. So 3 Asteria, obviously the best normal summon, I showcased that very clearly. Asteria with even a bad discard is still very good, whereas if you have, you know, let's say like Reset and a bad discard, I don't think it really does much of anything. I mean, it's still a board, but it's not like full combo through Nibiru and stuff like that. Anyways, 2 Sylve, which is also a semi-1 card combo, just like Reset, and then 2 Arcia, which is an extender, but if you only play 1 of each, then they actually become Garnets, because sometimes you have to special summon them very specifically from the deck. Which is especially the case for Sylve, because if you play 1 and you also draw Asteria can't special summon the Sylve from the deck. This summons very specifically from the deck, not from hand or deck. Otherwise, it would probably be a 1-of, honestly. The Arcia could theoretically be a 1-of, so I guess you can do that if you really want to, because it has a lot of recursion from the grave. But it is an extender from the hand, so it's technically not bad at all to hard draw. I do not despise this card at all. It's not a card that I hate drawing at all. Anyways, 2 Field Spell, 2 Centurion Trudea, and 2 Primera, so very small 8-card Centurion engine, because I obviously play the Wake Up as well as the Phalanx as well. The Phalanx, if you draw it, is just going to be your discard fuel for your White Forest cards, so it's not like I can say that it's a brick, because it has a graveyard effect. And then the Wake Up Centurion is definitely not a brick, because you get to... I mean, no, actually, it's not, like, the best to draw, because if you have that and you don't have, like, the Field Spell, for example, or, like, a Centurion card, then you can't really use it, because you do have to have a monster card in your spell and trap zone to summon your token. So yeah, just keep that in mind, but still, you can still discard this card, then you get the trap card, and then summon back one of your Centurion Synchros. So it's really not the end of the world. And then I also play 2 Legend of White Forest and then 1 Woes. This card is not a starter, because you can only use it if you control an illusion or spellcaster monster. So that's the reason why I only play 2, or even 1 maybe. 3 copies I think is completely overkill for a card that doesn't really do anything at all on its own if you don't have anything else. And last but definitely not least, I'm playing 3 Toy Box as well as 1 Toy Soldier and 1 Toy Tank. Toy Box is the nuts. It is one of the best cards in this deck for sure. If you draw Toy Box with any of the White Forest cards, basically you have full combo. It's really that good. And yeah, if you draw double Toy Box, it's also full combo, so I will be showcasing this in my spreadsheet video. Again, as soon as we get 1,000 likes in here. Anyways, for the extra deck, 1 Legatia, 1 Auxilia, 1 Cosmic Blazar, the King Calamity, double Crimson Dragon, but I'm actually 100% convinced that you can play only one. It's just that you gotta have better timing, like you gotta go like, you know, call end phase, and then your opponent nibs you on end of main phase, and then you chain Crimson Dragon, goes back to your extra deck, and then you just keep playing the game. So even though the combo that I showcased, the first one, I played 2 Crimson Dragon, it's not really that much of a necessity. And it doesn't really look good in the extra deck either. It has 0 attack and 0 defense, and you can only use it when you already have a big synchro on your field. So yeah, if we can cut this down to 1, which I know for a fact that we can, the deck will look a little cleaner. Anyways, Chaos Angel, this card is nuts in this deck. You can summon it using Trudea and your Reset or Asteria, which is very easy to achieve, and that's a Light and Dark Chaos Angel without a single tuner, because Trudea can be level 8, and then these two are level 2, obviously. Or you can use some Bestial monsters, as well as your Sylve and Arcia or your Centurion monsters. That also works really well. So yeah, Chaos Angel is the nuts, and you can summon it on your opponent's turn using Stand Up Centurion. So when you're out of your level 12 options, you can still keep playing the game, no problemo. Anyways, the Diabel, as well as the Arciela and the Silvera, the Book of Eclipse, a really nice card. Muddy Mud Dragon, as well as 2 double fusions. You can also play some other interesting cards like Grand Guignol. That's why there is Despian Lulu Walilith in my idea section, and finally SP alongside IP Masquerena. And then for other cards that you can play, you can play Stardust Charge Warrior, but it doesn't really achieve much of anything. Despian Lulu Walilith, it's a card that you can either summon itself, like synchro summon, which I think is stupid, or you you cheat it out with Grand Guignol, or you just foolish it with it. Because you can make it with Albion off of Muddy Mud Dragon, which is very easy to do, whether or not you get Nibiru. That doesn't really matter too much. But I would wait until I get Nibiru, and then I would go into it. Don't play Gargoyle. Typhon is whatever, you can play it. Baguska. I guess this is an auto shifter. If you get shifter, you can go normal summon Arcia, get Sylve, and then get your legend, and then search Arcia, and then special summon that, and then make Baguska pass under shifter. It's not bad. Some Link climbing options, so Lina, Celine, access code, if there's a lot of lights running around. The Fiendsmith engine, Effect Veiler, etc. It's not too bad. And then whatever, Appaloosa. It's not really realistic. You really want to synchro summon as much as possible. And then Cheng Ying, whatever. It's another option, I guess. It's generic, but it's whatever. You might as well just go into your level 6 and 12 synchro monsters. Level 10 is just a little harder to do, but it's still doable. You can use Toy Soldier and Toy Tank alongside Arciela, for example. And then, yeah, Bestials, Call by the Grave, Droplet, whatever. Droplet is really nice with the toy engine. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace.